The next one is, what are your thoughts on Untappd? I don't know how many of you use Untappd, how you use it, different things like that. I will say that they're probably the least liked application among professional brewers is Untappd for multiple reasons. I'm not going to act like I love it. I have a little bit more healthy relationship with it than I used to. I remember when I was first getting into the game and you put a new beer up, and the first thing you want to do, man, is you want to see what people are saying about your beer online, right? Untappd is a funny thing. It's for those of you that don't know, some people use it as a beer record keeping thing, a beer log. Some people rate beers on it. Some people very seriously rate beers on it. Some people will say they will take your coconut beer and then they will give it 1/4 of a star and say, I hate coconut. But the funny thing is how Untappd works is the first 10 people that log a score form the average for the beer, the initial average for the beer. And there's either 4 or 5 stars in that one, or caps, whatever it is. The crazy thing about it is if so, say for argument's sake, I have had somebody say, I did a coconut stout the first year we opened Cartridge, and I had somebody say, I hate coconut, 1/4 of a star. And they were one of the first 10 people that reviewed the beer. So if there are 10 people that are reviewing the beer to form the initial score of that beer, that means I automatically lose 5 points of my potential 50 points from there, right? And the interesting thing is, and it actually tracks whatever initial rating that beer gets, it tends to set the course for that beer. Okay. So if you have the first 10 people saying it's like a 4.9 beer, it tends to stay pretty high. It'll regress back toward 4, but it tends to stay pretty high. I would say people are relatively influenced by those numbers that they see on Untappd. And that's one of the reasons why it's a source of frustration for a lot of brewers. I don't spend a lot of time looking at it because I don't enjoy it. And also I'm at a little bit healthier space, and I understand what the game is that I'm actually playing. You can have a brewery that has that's a 4.5 star brewery, but they don't make it. At the end of the day, great beer doesn't matter. You're running a business, right? So great beer can be part of your business plan, right? But it can't be the business plan. You still got things to get done. Dude, if I'm working at a place that has a 3.5 rating and we're packed, it's full of regulars and everybody's happy, I don't care what Untappd says. I mean, because we're running the business, right? And we have regulars. They love being there. They love our people. All good stuff, right? But it's a tricky thing, you know? It's a small percentage of beer drinkers. Super majority of beer that's drank is still light lager, right? So yeah, it's a vocal minority. I do think that I do think that it does play a valuable role in the way that for those hardcore dudes that are lining up, those same cats that are lining up at every brewery that has the Hot Boy releases, it's an undercurrent of the market, man. You know, it is marketing. It is a loyalty thing, but I do think it's very much fed a beer collector mentality, which is great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think what makes things stressful for people on my side of the industry is sometimes people can be too worried about wanting to pop off in that space, right? And ultimately, it's not what pays bills. It's nice and it feels good. When you get a beer over 4 on that, you know, like if I think like Motto right now for us is doing pretty well. I think it popped in at over 4, which is good. But me, I make lager. I make a lot of lager, and people don't care. You could, I could enter, I could sweep World Beer Cup and GABF in lager, and people would still give it a 3.5 in the brew pub. In part because, one, people are just saying what they like, and they don't think they're supposed to like something light, right? Different things like that. Lagers are not the most exciting beers. People love to see, like there was somebody recently that was like, there's ice cream in the can and stuff or whatever, and you have to shake it before you pour it. There's wild stuff. That's not lager. People that stuff gets 5 stars, right? Definitely, because it's exciting, it's interesting, stuff like that. But when your bread and butter is German lager, you can go up and look. I mean, the best lagers that are being made out there, the ones that are winning medals, people don't care about them on Untappd. So I think big picture, it does have value from the standpoint of it can be a barometer for trend, right? Which is valuable. It has people looped in on getting those badges and turning people like into beer tourists, which I think is really beneficial for us. But I think as brewers, we either need to not look at it or just come to a healthier understanding of what that thing really is. So that's my take on Untappd. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.